Made with tender gourmet cuts of meat and elevated yet simple all-natural ingredients, Crave Jerky is a great source of protein that's low in fat and gluten-free. Not to mention, the range of flavors is bold and imaginative. They have sweet chipotle beef, black cherry barbecue pork, and chili lime beef, just to name a few. So try one of Crave's bold, tender flavors like chili lime beef or black cherry barbecue pork by going to cravejerky.com, Crave with a K. Get 20% off when you use the code GRACE.
Not too deep, not too deep with Grace Helbig.
Welcome back to another episode of Not Too Deep with me, your host, Grace Ann Helbig the First. I just want my mom to feel like, okay, that I like my middle name. Thank you, Mom. This is a very exciting episode. Again, if you are only listening to this episode, a quick reminder that we are now filming these episodes and posting them on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Grace Helbig. Today's episode is quite a whirlwind, quite a roller coaster, quite sweaty, but really fun. I think that is the full definition of our guest. It's Bert Kreischer, who is a comedian, travel enthusiast, just all around kind of, he truly, if you're listening, you're not seeing I'm wearing a shirt that has a Tasmanian devil on it, and I feel like he fully embodies that character as a human being, and I could have talked to him for hours and hours and hours, but I'm going to get to it because Bert has a lot to say about a lot of things and has come to the table with the most amount of pants-shitting stories I've ever heard. They are vivid, to say the least. Enjoy. Have you been to Germany?
Of course.
Okay, I've never been.
Oh my God, I love it.
I've been to Oktoberfest, but in Canada.
Okay.
There's like a small region in Canada that's like the second biggest Oktoberfest celebration, and I had to do it for like a gig that I had to go like cover the festival.
Yeah.
And it was just 13 hours of trying to interview drunk people, which is, you know, obviously great.
I don't know what's worse, watching people that aren't in Germany try to pay homage to their German heritage
Yeah.
or Germans.
Okay, well, one of the things I wanted to talk to you about is you travel a ton.
Yeah.
Obviously for stand-up, you travel for the shows that you've worked on. What is your worst, most repressed travel memory?
Oh, Jesus.
I mean, I feel like you've lived 1,000 lives, obviously.
Yeah. You know, I'm one of those guys that I run hot, so like I can find a reason to love wherever I am.
Okay.
I can easily find a reason.
I call that optimism.
Yeah, even in like the shittiest places in the world, I'm like, well, they got a little, like we were stuck in this bar in Bari, Italy.
Okay.
We're waiting for a shuttle, a ferry to take us to Corfu.
Mm-hmm.
And I had misjudged it. We had to sit there for another 10 hours. And I was like, guys, we just get blackout drunk. And they were like, okay, we can do that.
There's always an option.
Yeah, but I think probably the worst travel experience I've ever had is whenever you get stuck somewhere and you don't want to be there.
Yeah.
Meaning like I got stuck in the Mohegan Sun in a blizzard.
Oh, yeah, that's a Mad Lib sentence. That sucks.
Yeah. And I got there and there was a blizzard, so all my shows were canceled, right? And then I had to stay.
So the work that you were supposed to do there got taken away from you. 9
people showed up, one of which was a guy in a wheelchair who walked out of my show in a wheelchair. That's
Wait,
how
he
bad
learned
it was.
how to walk?
No. He rolled out. He went, like he had the straw and everything. He was like, you suck. Like a gaspy breath. And I was like, are you fucking serious? And he goes, you suck. And
that's a very specific walkout.
Dude, he was blowing himself out with a straw in his wheelchair and still cursing me out.
I mean, that's almost kind of a compliment in a way. Like,
yeah, but then I had to run into him all night because there was no one at the fucking casino, so it was just me and him.
Well, I mean, that's how friendships start, I guess.
That's how all my nightmares are that I can't get home to my family. Like that's my nightmares that I can't get home to my family.
You should talk to a therapist about that.
I'm already in therapy, but he's going through a divorce.
Humble brag. Okay, got it. Some of us aren't there yet. No, I had a recent conversation with a couple friends where I realized like how terrible I am and how incapable I am when we were talking about like airport bad travel scenarios, and I was like, I've fallen asleep twice at my gate, like 10 feet, like my distance to this camera from the gate, fallen asleep, woken up 2 hours later and tried to board the flight that was boarding in front of me, and then had the flight attendant go, "No, ma'am, your flight was 2 hours ago." And I was telling this like very colloquially to a bunch of women, and then realized like none of them could relate to that because they're all very professional. I feel like you might have those situations in your life.
Omaha.
Okay. The stakes, love them. Go on.
This is 1 year ago.
Okay. Oh.
1 year ago.
I already appreciate how recent this is. Okay. Yes.
I am on a tear. I'm partying. I went from Stanhope's to New York. Stanhope's to Florida to New York. And I end up doing a one-nighter. I used to do these morning calling sick to work shows where I'd have the whole audience come in at 10 in the morning and we just day drink. And so I do that night. Chris Porter's there. Me and him end up smoking pot in his room all night long and drinking. I wake up in a panic. I've barely packed. I wake up and it's the front desk going, "Sir, your car's been here for over an hour." And I'm like, oh my God. I don't shower. Now, by the way, I'm obsessive compulsive, so I shower and wear the exact same thing every day when I fly, okay? I throw everything in the bag. I get my bags in the car. I literally have, I'm not even joking. At one point, I sat on the toilet and I went, "Bert, be cool with missing this flight. Just slow down and be comfortable missing this flight." And I went, "No, because I had a party planned at home for all our friends that Sunday, and this is the only direct flight from Omaha."
This is your panic, is missing getting home.
I get in the car service and the guy goes, "I'm sorry, man. I've been trying to call you. But my phone's not even plugged in, right?" I go, "How much time do we have?" He goes, "It takes 15 minutes to get to the airport, and your flight is boarding in 10.
Oh my God.
So I go, "Just go the best you can." This guy's hauling ass. I am like panicking. I took a couple of beers from the mini bar. I'm drinking them in the car.
Yeah,
going like, "Come on, Bert, you can do this."
Recharge. You have to recharge and rehydrate.
I get to the airport. I look at this man and I say, "I'm going to leave all my bags with you and get on this flight. Do you have a card I can get from you to figure out how to get my bags?" This dude's and he goes, "I got it." Gives me a card. I go up and I go, "I'm Bert Kreischer. I fly all the time on American. I just want to get on this flight." And they're like, "Well, hold it for." I literally.
So you stood up like you're in an AA meeting and introduced yourself.
I'm Bert Kreischer. I left everything. I left my backpack. I left everything so that I emptied out my pockets in the car, put them all in my backpack. I grabbed my headsets and my phone. That's it. And a charger. I literally barreled through security, pre-check. On my phone and went and they were
Shout out to pre-check.
They were shutting the door. And I was like, "I'm Bert Kreischer, I'm here." And they're like, "Hold on, we got one." Dude, I got on there. The guy.
How many times a day do you announce your name to people to get places?
A lot. That is one of my flaws.
Okay, but wait, because you're Bert Kreischer and you actively let the world know this, you must have insane moments of people coming up to you, talking to you, recognizing you, thinking that, you guys have a close, intimate bond with each other. Yeah. So how does that work out for, like, as a 32-year-old woman, when that happens for me, it's always a little like wonderful and sweet and also like scary.
Yeah.
But for someone like you, I imagine people feel a little bit safer just like bum rushing and like fully forcing themselves on.
And just handing me drugs. Handing me an 8-ball Coke. Hey, man. The machine.
That's wow.
I'm gonna pass, man. This is a Dave and Buster's. I really appreciate it. My kids are over there playing.
We got the $10.99 meal plus gameplay. So like, come on, give me some space.
I had a guy hand me pills on a flight one time, and
unmarked pills,
just in a little baggie. I saw you boarding the machine, and dropped them on my table. I'm like, "Oh yeah, I'll totally eat 3 pills. Don't tell me what they are. Let me guess. I want to find out on the flight. When I find out on the flight, oh thanks, brother. I appreciate it."
That's so nuts. Yeah, no, I've had the experience of where I've been like the most hungover, gone to an airport, like truly in a state of, I just want to be invisible to the world right now. And I've like gone into the TSA booth, like hands up, just fully succumbing to my own terrible choices from the night before, and had someone go, "Come on, Helbig, get out of there." And I'm like, "No, not today, not right now, not like this." But you seem to have a very healthy relationship with your regret, which I don't know if it exists for you.
I don't have much regret.
Okay, but you have some.
Yeah, I mean, my regret is honest. I don't regret working for Travel Channel, but I do regret not spending more time at home with my family
Sure.
when they were younger.
Sure.
I was just working, trying
The
to pay
years
bills.
that, really, those are the problematic memories that they're going to hold for the rest of their lives.
Yeah.
Those fun years.
And then when I am home, I'm just doing hour specials, trashing them. Like I had to say
Perfect.
last night at dinner, I was like, all right, ladies, Dad's got an hour special coming out, right?
You have 2 daughters?
2 daughters.
Okay. And
14
how old?
and 12.
14. Oh, so they're very formative years of, this is.
And I was like, Dad's got a special coming out. And I talk a lot about you guys. And they're like, Mom's already told us.
But you didn't clear it with them before you.
No.
Okay. That's a healthy relationship.
I had to say to my daughter last night, both my daughters got their periods. And I had to say to my youngest the other day, last night, I said, hey, just so you know, on Monday, I'm doing Conan. And I'm thinking about talking about when you got your period. Are you comfortable with that? And she was like, whoa. She was like, wait, tell me how you're going to say it. And I was like, well, do you remember how you threw yourself a period party? And she was like, yeah. I go, well, not every girl does that.
No, that's very progressive.
It's beyond progressive. It's almost weird. And I was like, and so I thought I thought I'd tell that story. She's like, about the red velvet cake. She wanted a red velvet cake. I'm not even joking. I'm not
Your
even joking.
daughter
Is this
is
not
a-
interesting though?
No,
And then
I'm
named her
like, I'm
period.
not
She
enough
named
of a.
it.
I'm not enough of a woman compared to your daughter.
She called me from school and was like, hey, I got my period. Go to the store and get a red velvet cake. I'm like, what?
The fact that she is changing the shame game that is associated with women bleeding from the inside monthly.
That's what I said.
Incredible.
Yeah, I was like, I go, baby, it's really cool. I go, and I think it's something that I know that, but my fans hear it, they think it's funny and it's interesting and it could be the future, and I just think it's a good
I
story.
support you. Can I steal this for
Can
my
I
own
steal
content?
your weirdness and make money off of it? God forbid we hold this and you tell it on stage.
But so your daughters are obviously, they seem supportive in what you do. Do you want them to be in entertainment at all? Or is this like a realm where it's like, I've experienced this so firsthand that I would prefer for you guys to not have this?
I wouldn't mind. I mean, obviously we all know there's a lot of jobs in entertainment. I think they'd both be really good at like, my oldest would be great in like PR or something. Okay. But she would not be.
Not so much as a creative type, more of like organization.
She might be a good writer. I don't know. I don't want either of them to do what I do.
Really?
Like it's too much.
Yeah.
It's too live by the sword, die by the sword. Like you have one screwed up night at work, or you say something weird on a podcast and you're thinking about it at dinner and you're like, man, that came out wrong.
Or someone says something to you in a comment that makes your whole world turn upside down and you can't see like the light of day kind of scenario.
And I don't want them to ever experience that. I would love if they just were like, yeah, I don't really give a shit about that. Like, I wouldn't like.
I'm going into science.
Yeah. I'm gonna build fences or whatever. I just like it's too much. You know, the thing. I had a buddy who got in a lot of trouble. He lied about something and he got called out, and it was a big the 9/11 thing. Yeah, my buddy and he's my good friend and he's got kids. And I went to bed. I put my kids together that night and I went, what if his job gets taken away from this? Like, what if his dreams get taken away? Yeah. Like, that's so weird that, like, you can say something off color that you don't mean for it to hurt anyone. You're just talking shit.
Impacts the entire future.
It impacts your life and then your kid's life. And then all of a sudden, like, and I've done that a lot. I've said some fucked up shit on podcasts.
But that's what I think is so interesting about someone that is a daughter to a dad that's not in the creative world, but someone that I love very much. Like, I'm always fascinated about like that relationship that you have with them, and like, is there a safe word that you guys have of like, don't talk about this, or like, Dad, my friends know what you do, and I don't. It's embarrassing or cool, or like gives them credit.
My daughter, I can't.
Pregnant pause.
No, I can't. My daughter one time.
She has a slime thing, you were saying, right?
Yeah, she's got a slime account.
Yeah, which feels very 14 or 12. Which one?
That's 12.
12, okay. That feels
her and her friend have a slime account. She's like, my friend pretty much runs it. I just go in for talent. Like, she just goes in to make the noise.
Yeah, she's the hands of it.
Yeah, she's like, she doesn't know how to, Lou doesn't know how to pop the slime the way I do, Dad.
That's amazing.
Yeah, there was one time where there was something going on. I can't really share it all.
You don't have to.
It was really, really funny. And I said to my daughter, I said something to her, and she said the funniest thing back. But it was about something developmental in her life. Okay. Where I guess all girls get embarrassed of it. Like, let's just pretend it's getting hair on your legs, right?
Okay.
Or shaving your legs, something like that. It's around that.
I can imagine, yeah.
I guess you can wrap your head around it.
I can, go from A to Z.
But it's not as bad as you think. It's just real innocuous. Uh-huh. And I was like, I shared something, and she said something hilarious, and then I went, "Oh my god!" And she immediately goes, "You're not talking about this on stage." And I went, and in my head, I was like, I was going to share that on stage, and I was going to the ice house. I was like, "Oh, this is coming up." Yeah, but like stuff like that.
Safe boundaries.
Like, I won't say who my daughter has a crush on. Like, I wouldn't out her like that.
Oh God, yeah, that would be the worst. That would be the most embarrassing.
That's what Theo Vaughn just asked me if my daughter's had a crush yet, and I was like, "Yeah," and he goes, "What's his name?" And I was like, I can't say it.
You're not allowed to.
Yeah.
No. That's on their terms.
Yeah, so there's a lot of good stuff like that. But with my wife, no, there's nothing off limits.
Really?
Yeah, there's nothing off limits. But what's crazy is there's nothing off limits. But then she started a podcast, and because nothing's been off limits,
she
for
gets
her,
to now dump everything out.
She shit on me like ridiculously on this podcast, and I was like, "Yo, babe, I literally got offensive."
She's like, "I have years of it built up. Let me do this."
I said to her, I go, "Hey, hold on 1 second." I go, "Your podcast fans come from my podcast. Like, those are the wives and the people listening to my podcast." I go, "You're shitting on me." And then she goes, "Hold on 1 second. Who said that I farted on their chin during oral sex?" And I was like, "Well, you did." And she goes, "And if it's real, it plays." And I was like, "All right, you're right. I can only imagine how embarrassed you were." I was like, "You're right. Oh God, I can't believe I just called myself."
This is such a fun game of like mental chess that you guys are playing with each other.
Oh, she lights up on me. They were talking about sex.
How did you guys meet each other?
We had to meet in person before dating apps. Can you believe that?
That's disgusting.
I know.
Yeah, that's dangerous.
You
and
just
disgusting.
got one hard copy of the person. They're like, "That's what she looks like." You couldn't flip through it.
You couldn't see. You couldn't go. Maybe it's a bad angle on that photo.
You're like, "Oh, she's gorgeous." Then you meet her in person. You're like, "Oh, her butt's a little bigger than I'd like," but I didn't get to scroll through that. But no, I'd seen her like 3 times. I'd seen her at the base of Runyon Canyon by that apartment building. She was working
there. That's what a pervert says about someone that they're stalking.
Okay, well, it's going to get worse. I then saw her at yoga class break up with her boyfriend.
Wait. Okay. Are you just happening upon these moments, or are you following her to these destinations?
We had mutual friends. My roommate.
That doesn't answer my question
my
at all.
My roommate had dated her her best friend and her writing partner. And so,
okay.
And by the way, if we're going to be really honest, he had kind of stalked her. So
okay.
It might have been like, I might have just been third wheel stalking,
Yeah, this is a fun soup to get involved in right now.
and then we all the big group of us, now all people that I know, all went bowling one night.
Okay.
And I was good looking.
Finally a safe activity.
I was hot. I was
okay.
legit. I'll show you a picture of what I looked like, and
This is why we're filming the podcast now, because of these visual moments for everyone.
You're going to be shocked. I bet you go. That's not you.
Okay, I'm
Bert.
going over my lines in my head until I see this photo. Are you Google image searching yourself right now?
Yeah, because, and by the way, it comes up immediately.
This is how famous you are, that you don't have these photos in your like photo album. You have to Google image search yourself to pull up old photos.
You ready?
Yeah, that's not you. Also, Melissa just goes, "Whoa." Like a Joey Lawrence full whoa.
That's what I looked like when I met my wife.
Well, sorry, but like...
I was cheesy posing for the record. Like, I didn't really think I looked like that.
But are the sunglasses and the necklace a specific choice?
Well, the necklace is real. The sunglasses are real, but you were in like grade school when I took this picture. This is 19.
Old enough to know that those sunglasses are not okay.
These were cool.
Okay, sure. They protected your eyes from the UV rays that the sun, projects. I get it.
The guy that had cut my hair.
So your wife met that person.
My wife met that person, and
bowling,
and then she was like, told my roommate, "Hey, your roommate, it's cool, cute. Tell him."
Pretty sure he saw me and my ex break up, so he's very sensitive.
The day she broke up with her ex, I had done yoga next to her, and I sweat aggressively. As you can tell, I just sweat. I'm a sweater. Like, I'm cool with it, but in yoga, I was pouring sweat so bad it was puddling. And she was laughing hysterically, and she's like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, as I was talking, I was burbling because sweat's pouring in through my mouth, and I'm like, blah, 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 "I'm fine." And she was like, "I think he's cute," and then told my roommate, "Tell him to ask me out." And this is, by the way, this is going to be a part of it. This is a part of me that I share with people, and they never believe. Like, I have real. I've only had sex with 6 people. Women. I don't know why I said people. With 6 women. I've only had sex with 6 women.
Okay, I'm glad that you felt the need to catch yourself.
I can't believe it. Well, I know. I guess there's nothing wrong with that anymore. But when I grew up, you couldn't just say people you had sex with women. And so I'm not like I'm not good with chicks. I would never
You're
been
a
good with
party
chicks.
dude, but in a sexual way, yeah, obviously more concerned about like the partner. Got it.
I'm more concerned with the partner.
Yeah.
I wanted to fall in love. And so this was, and when she called up and was like, hey, how come your roommate hasn't asked me out? I was like, oh, she's a slut. I can't go out with her. And then
You have, from a distance, put this woman through the ringer before even going on a first date with her.
Oh.
You watched her to break up with her ex. You sweat like a lunatic in
Yes,
front of her.
yes.
And then you preemptively thought she was sexually evasive. Okay.
Oh yeah, and then we went out on a date, and I was like, and she was just perfect. Like, you know when you meet someone and you're like,
That's a nice button up on that. Yeah.
she was just everything that you want. And like, she dumped me. Like after 4 months, I couldn't like. She had said I love you to me, and I couldn't say it back because I'd been burned.
You have been literally following this woman for months, and you
Yeah.
couldn't say back that
And
you
I was
loved
so
her.
in love with her, but I couldn't say it. And she was like, well, then if you can't say it, it's over. Dumped me, and immediately I was like, I got to get her back. I got to get her back.
Oh, no.
I made a mixtape. I did everything.
Oh my God.
I cried in my car on La Brea and Franklin, like crying. You ever cry in your car driving?
Every day of my life.
It
But
happens a lot more than you'd expect in LA.
okay, wait. What was on the mixtape?
A lot of Coldplay.
And he's got the greatest relationship of all time.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
He really knew how to speak my language.
Yeah. I mean, they consciously uncoupled. Really, really progressive.
Yeah, and then and then she came back to me. And then I was
Wow.
like, I'm not fucking this up.
And so, how long have you guys been together now?
15 years? No,
That-
well, I mean, together I think we've been together like 16, 17 years, but
Okay.
15 years married.
And now she finally gets like her voice in like your relationship now, like in the creative world.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Are you
Oh.
ever worried that there's a lot of, I mean, there's chapters to your relationship from what it sounds like that are going to get aired that you're nervous about at all being aired?
See, that's the problem with me is I'm super honest.
That you're an open book. Yeah.
like it's like I say way too much. Like
Mm-hmm.
because part of me goes, we all think the same things.
yeah.
I can't, and I'm not better than anyone. I'm not worse than anyone. And so yeah, I'm pretty honest. I've never hit her. I've never cheated on her. I never hit my kids. I've never raised my voice like in the manner, but that's just not me. Like I'm not I raise my voice, but I'm like, what the fuck are we doing in here
Also,
today?
you went into a realm that I wasn't even
Oh, yeah.
considering. I'm like, did you shit on her chest that's going to come up in a podcast?
Oh, no, I wish.
There's still
My
time.
wife, no, my wife would, the things that she would share about me is like I'll throw a temper tantrum if we can't have sex. Like I'll be like I'll turn into a baby.
You'll get petty. You'll get
today,
petty.
I've been a little sick lately, and so she said, but I just got home off the road and I want to have
Yeah.
sex, and she's like, I'm not getting sick. It was her birthday. She goes, I'm not getting sick on my birthday for you.
That's self-care.
Yeah, and I was like, but I do it for you, and she's like, literally, I'm not even joking. Like,
Yeah,
I'm
this is
not
a
making
real
it sound funny.
conversation,
And
yeah.
And I keep saying to her, like, hey, come in bed. I just want to talk to you for a little bit. And she's like, it's not happening. It's not happening.
That's a trap.
Yeah.
That's a trap.
Yeah, exactly. And then today, I was getting out of the shower to get ready to do press, and she said she is cleaning my side of the closet because I just have not done it. And she said, babe, I am truly sorry we haven't gotten to take care of your needs, but I hope you do understand that I just don't want to get the flu again this year. And even still, I was like, okay, but tonight, right?
One that is the most like textbook from a therapist's opinion way to present your feelings to
Yeah.
a significant other.
Yes.
It's the most clear, concise, real honest thing that she can probably say to you.
Yeah.
And the most rational, calm way to say it to you, and still does not fully resonate.
She has shared the worst fights we've ever had on her podcast.
I mean, maybe there's some therapeutic element.
Oh, there is. Oh, dude. Well, I mean, she got me in therapy. She was like, you need to
you
be in
go.
therapy. I was getting PTSD from doing Travel Channel because I was doing dangerous stuff every week.
Yeah.
And it was just getting worse and
Not
worse and worse.
processing all of it.
And it
yeah.
was building up. And so everything turned into a 90-foot scuba dive. Everything turned into a bungee jump.
Yeah.
Everything, like the littlest things. And I would melt down the way I would in the shower in New Zealand before I did a 500-foot rope swing.
Yeah, just full panic attacks out of nowhere.
Yeah, and I couldn't measure what was real and what wasn't real.
You can't navigate that. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
hard when your brain has had that much like trauma put on it, like to actually honestly compartmentalize like what's happening to you in this present moment.
Yeah.
I'm sure it was extremely stressful.
But and so she got me into therapy, and it was the best thing that ever happened to me.
Sweet. Well, on that really adult note, we're going to take a quick break and be right back with Bert Kreischer.
The worse you say it, the better my fans like it.
Kreischer is how
Kreischer.
Yeah, which is basically Cher's Twitter account. We'll be right back with more Not Too Deep right after this.
Not too deep.
Using thousands of real women's measurements, Third Love designs its bras with breast size and shape in mind so that they fit impeccably and feel even better. That's right, today's episode is sponsored by Third Love. And now, since adding 24 new sizes, Third Love offers the most options of any brand. I'm talking a total of 70 sizes. So you can find your fit in 60 seconds online, order, and try on at home with Third Love's Fit Finder quiz. It's actually fun and it takes less than a minute, and there's no more awkward fitting room experiences. So it's hands down the most comfortable bra that you will ever own. From premium ultra soft smoothing fabrics to expert design features like straps that don't slip, the details make the difference, and the labels are even tagless so they're not itchy. And because Third Love guarantees a perfect fit, returns and exchanges are free and easy. And you are talking to a sports bra loving woman through and through. And I will tell you that Third Love's bras are infinitely more comfortable than my own dirty sports bras. I am a changed woman. They sent me a few of their designs and it's absolutely fantastic. Could not recommend more. So excited every time they sponsor the podcast. Third Love knows there's a perfect bra for everyone. So right now they're offering you guys, the listeners, 15% off your first order. Go to thirdlove.com/grace now to find your perfect fitting bra and get 15% off your first purchase. That's thirdlove.com/grace for 15% off today.
We're back with Bert Kreischer. Okay, I have your whole demeanor from what I've observed on social media and observed from you directly is pretty positive. It's pretty just like fun-loving, good time. Do you have a nemesis?
A nemesis?
Mm-hmm. Or what's your biggest like pet peeve on like a human level?
I mean, I honestly, my biggest pet peeve is hypocrisy. And that is what drives me nuts is hypocrisy.
I get that, yeah.
I try not to be hypocritical, but I also, I try, and I call myself out when I do it.
Sure.
And I say my fans, but people listen to my podcast have called me out a ton.
Yeah, what's your prime audience? Is it mostly
Dudes
your own age or younger?
Dudes 18 to 45.
Yeah.
And they're all trying to work on their beards.
Oh yeah,
and they like to get a buzz. They're looking to fall in love. They're just regular,
so
really
like
soft-centered
sweet
dudes. Yeah.
Oh, I think that's like a really fun new kind of like personality type to really usher in. Is like, I think the idea of party animal gets kind of lumped in with chauvinistic or whatever, like people that aren't in touch with their emotions. And I think you represent something that's a little bit more in touch with your emotions.
Definitely.
And not showing it as a weakness at all.
Well, I think there's a lot of guys like me who have like low self-esteem, but like to have a good time. And their friends make jokes about them and they're like they can roll with it. They like to, and they're just really good guys. And I think that's the majority of my fan base. But they're pretty honest. They're pretty real. And I always said this, and I've said this to other people. The format of podcasting, I've been in it for a while.
Yeah.
Just did my 300th episode.
Nice.
The format of podcasting is a conversation with my fans. So when I do say something fucked up or something that maybe I misspeak, my fans will call me on it and start a conversation with me either in my DMs or just online. Usually,
having like an honest, respectful dialogue about something.
Yeah.
Instead of shaming you for not knowing a different way.
Yeah, and I think that is an extension of Rogan. Rogan's fans were like, yo, this is like a safe place. We're all just hanging out and we're having a conversation. And if we say something really horrible, realize that we're high and we're just screwing around and call us on it and we'll help me change my opinion. I used to say it on stage all the time. Listen, if I have a joke that you don't like, so cool. Come up to me and talk to me.
Oh, that's
Share
cool.
it with me and tell me why you don't like it. Like there was a joke I had about getting a blowjob from my wife one time. And this girl came up and goes, just so you know that that's just really aggressive. And I had never, it was a joke to me. It wasn't real. And so I was like, yeah, that is pretty aggressive. And I just haven't told
it since. You considered it. You considered that like constructive criticism.
It's like the reason like people talk about rape jokes. I don't tell rape jokes only because like this is personal, by the way. I can laugh at them. I can laugh at whatever you want to talk about. But like just personally, it would really bum me out if I ruined someone's night. If like they had like gotten a sitter,
You care.
gotten dressed,
Yeah.
put on makeup, came out to my show
Yeah.
with their husband, laughing along, and then all of a sudden I just brought up the worst thing that ever happened in their life.
A terrible
and they're just
triggering
like, let's
thing.
just go
Yeah.
home. Yeah, I don't ever want to do that.
Yeah, well, that's really considerate, which I think makes you more of a selfless performer than a lot of people, or you're really doing it for your audience.
Well, yeah. Well, I'm not. Yeah, I'm doing it for myself because I just don't want to be sitting there like I had this really great joke about black chicks once that I thought was just brilliant,
Okay.
and it was getting laughs. But the two black chicks came up to me in DC and they're like, "Hey, man, huge fans. I think you need to stop telling that joke." And I was like, "Are you serious?" And they're like, "It's just a little fucked up. I think the wrong people are laughing." And you're like, "Really?" And they're like, "Yeah, we get it. I don't think you're a bad person. There's nothing bad that you're saying in it, but there's a line in there that I think the wrong people are laughing at." And I went,
so interesting.
"Yeah." And you're like, "Oh yeah."
Yeah, that you're like, you don't want to accidentally encourage someone that doesn't fully understand where you're coming from.
Yeah, and it wasn't a negative joke. It was just one line. It was one line. One line always. It's one line. Like I had a joke about this black guy one time. And these both have to do with race. They're just randomly.
Okay.
But I just joke about this black guy one time about me and him were at a bar. I stopped telling the joke, but I'll tell you why. Okay? And it's an innocuous joke.
Sure.
Me and him are at a bar. A Middle Eastern guy walks in, orders a beer, leaves, and the black guy says, I'm shortening it. The black guy says, "Man, I hope that motherfucker's not on my plane." And we're at an airport bar, and I go, "Me too," to him just to be nice. And then I went, "Oh wait, I'm being racist. I'm being racist to him." Like, wait, how far have we come as a people when a black man and a white man commit a hate crime together? And then I was like, yes, we can. And then the joke was, wait, he said it to a white guy. If he thinks I'm racist about Middle Eastern guys, he must think I'm racist across the board. Like, oh my God. And then I'm like, I'm implicating myself. And then I was like, and then the line was, how does he know my racism stops at Middle Eastern people? But then white people were coming up and going, yeah, mine doesn't stop at Middle Eastern people either. I was like, no, you're missing the fucking point. You're missing the point. And then you're like, I'm done.
Yeah.
I can't tell the joke.
Yeah, that's a whole stepping in it scenario.
Yeah, you can't, but so you just go, all right, I'll just put that joke on the shelf. And one day, if it comes up and I can figure it out, I'll figure it out. But today's not the day.
Today is not the day. On a different note, physically, you ran a marathon.
Yeah.
When?
It's like 3 months ago, 4 months ago.
How? No offense, but how?
As I sweat in a room doing a podcast. I say it's the Mickey Mantle gene. I just decided to do it.
So it's like, it's the mental capacity of like believing that you can.
That and a little bit of physical superiority over the average person, I believe.
Predisposed for athleticism.
I believe Mickey Mantle was a great athlete. He could party all night long with Billy Martin, show up at the field at 6 a.m. and play a game and hit 2 home runs.
It's all about balance.
And it's just about those guys that just refuse to let a little bit of a hangover affect them. So I didn't train.
That's the most inspirational thing anyone's ever said on this podcast.
Yeah.
And I appreciate it so much.
I didn't train for it at all. I just showed
But you
up.
didn't train for a marathon at all.
At all.
You know people that train like shit their pants actively running a marathon.
Yeah. I
Okay.
saw it happen.
Okay, wait,
On
where did you run this?
On Sepulveda and San Vicente, I watched a grown woman, like an executive, shit in her pants. And I went, that's why you train. My legs seized up and I was like, oh my God. No, I told my buddies I could probably run a marathon, no training. And they're like, no, you can't. No, you can't. You can't run a marathon. And I was like, I definitely could.
Okay.
And they're like, no, you can't. I was
And
like,
you had
no.
never thought about this before in your life until this year.
It was me, Segura, and Ari and Joe, and we were on a podcast, and I was like, I definitely could run a marathon.
So now you're socially accountable for doing it once you
Yeah.
put it out there.
And
Yeah.
they're like, you can't do it. And I was like, I could do it. And Ari's like, my dad did it. He had to train forever. I was like, your dad's 80. I was like, of course. I go, I could definitely beat your dad. And he's like, you couldn't beat my dad.
So this boils down to a different issue.
And so I went out, partied the night before, showed up to the LA Marathon. I was out there bragging. Just like people go, there's no better feeling than crossing the finish line in a marathon and going, all that training paid off. You know what a better feeling is? Crossing the finish and looking at people and go, I didn't even train for this. And they're like, what?
That's the alternative Nike slogan is I didn't even train for this.
Yeah, just did it.
I just did it.
Don't try, just did it. Yeah, I did.
Wait, so what was your your body had to be
Okay,
physically
okay.
like rocked from that,
there you
right?
go. That's a good
So what was the
question.
recovery? Like, did you shit your pants behind closed doors?
I did not shit my pants. At mile 20,
Which is probably like the worst, most excruciating moment.
Mile 20, mile 22. Both my calves seized up. The woman in front of me shit her pants. and I watched people drop off like zombies. Like
Walking Dead style.
Like just go, Gah, and then and I was like, oh my God, I don't know if now I don't know if I'm going to finish.
Yeah.
And so I just said to myself, if I need to walk, I'll walk. And so I started walking a little bit. I was at a 5-hour pace at that time.
Wow.
And it took me an extra 30 minutes, those last like 6 miles. It took me an extra 30 minutes. So I had to walk if I needed to walk. But yeah.
Wait, you ran 6 miles in 30 minutes?
No, I ran 6 miles in like an hour and 30 minutes.
I was like, 6 miles in 30 minutes is not walking.
No. I had to take an extra 30. I was on a 5-hour pace to finish the marathon.
Okay.
But then people, and then here's the problem, is I couldn't walk for a week after. Legit couldn't walk.
So all the braggadocious behavior of like, I didn't even train for this. Yeah, okay.
Couldn't exercise for like well over a month. Gained 15 pounds immediately.
Yeah, that's a marathon train. Like people that run marathons obviously gain 15 pounds after the marathon.
After a lot of guys gain. A lot of guys can't work out after a marathon, but if you don't train for it, you really can't work out.
Yeah, I'm shocked that you walked up the steps to get into this apartment today.
I just ran a triathlon like two weeks ago.
What? Why?
Because someone said I couldn't do it.
So you're fueled by spite. It's what it sounds like.
Everything is done by spite. Me, Joe, Ari, and Tom. Joe Rogan, Ari Shaffir, and Tom Segura did a podcast. They asked me how much I drank, and I made the tactical error.
Unlike your doctor, you answered honestly to them.
Well, first of all, I answer honestly to my doctor because he's going to tell me if I need to stop. But I answered honestly to them, and I told them how much I drank, and they were floored. They were
like Andre the Giant level of drinking?
I guess to them.
Okay.
And so they were like, whoa. And they were like, we should do sober October. We're in October. We would not drink or do drugs. And so I didn't, and I was like, I could do that. And they're like, no, you can't. And I was like, no, I definitely can. And they're like, you need to see a doctor. You're going to have stroke. You're going to have the DTs. And I was like, I'm going to be fine. I don't drink all the time. Like often do I just not drink.
Sure.
So I tell my therapist, and I was like, I'm going to do it. He was like, I think that's great. And he's like, what's your motivation? And I literally said, spite. I want to show them that I can do it. And so I quit drinking for a month. I didn't have any.
Not for your own personal health, for your own personal well-being.
I started November 1st, the first day we could. At midnight, I started drinking again. Harder than I ever had. And I was like, told you I could do it.
Wow. Okay, so what's the next phenomenal feat that you're going to put your body through?
I don't know. Well, there's a couple.
You're just waiting for someone to challenge you to something.
There's a couple bets on the
table. Okay.
On the table right now. There's a few bets on the table.
Okay.
And so.
But you don't have to put. You don't have to let it out.
I haven't accepted them because first of all, it's a lot of money, and it's like 6 figures.
Yikes!
And it's tough, and it would be a lot. It would be a genuine lifestyle change.
Oh,
if
wow!
If I do this, it's just and
it's hard to make lifestyle changes when you're the motivating factor is spite.
Yeah, it's not money. By the way, it's not money.
Yeah,
it's not losing the money or winning the money. I could give two shits about that. It's spite.
Yeah, I don't know that actually will create a lifestyle change.
I do. Yeah, I don't know either. We'll see.
Okay, well, I'm very excited to see. I want to talk to you a little bit about, like, you have a new Netflix special that's coming out, and that whole world to me is fascinating. Stand-up terrifies me. I am so scared of it. I exist behind like a Wi-Fi passcode scenario. So going out, just like speaking directly and looking in faces of people and telling jokes and hoping they accept them is nuts. What was it like creating this special this time around?
It was really fun.
Yeah?
Yeah, it was really fun. But, I really enjoyed getting ready for a special.
Yeah?
Yeah,
That seems like the most intense time to me.
It's very intense.
Yeah.
It's very intense. I don't know I don't know what the word is that I am. So
crazy.
Compulsive or obsessive or
obsessive compulsive?
But or like
passionate.
Passionate. I'm very impulsive.
Oh, okay.
So my favorite thing about stand-up, my favorite thing is writing. I love writing. I love when you're at the very beginning, like the salad days of an hour, and you're just going on stage, coming up with an idea. Like you have an idea. Like I had an idea the other day. Like I had the funniest thing. I haven't written the joke yet, but I just wrote in the beginning part. is I came home really high from the store one night, like really, really high, like kind of high where you're like, I can't go to bed yet. I'm going to forget how to breathe.
Amazing that you got home.
Uber. And so, by the way, Uber over Laurel Canyon in the back of a car that I think had a bucket seat. And he was playing Perry Farrell's Satellite of Love cover. And I thought I was in a starship. I was like, I'm literally like, oh my God. I get home and I'm like, I'm so high. I'm walking around my house going, still singing Satellites Gone Way Up to Mars. And I walk in my kitchen and my dog I have a 140-pound bull mastiff. My dog is putting away the silverware. She's got one elbow on the counter and a paw in the silverware drawer. And she looks at me like, are you going to help? And I start laughing hysterically. And immediately I go, this has got to be a joke. Like, what's happening? And so I start walking over to her, and I realize she's eating a cake on the counter. Like she's using the drawer of stability, just. And then
I like that you thought she was doing chores.
Yeah, but it was like, and then immediately I'm like, fuck, I'll help you eat the cake. So me and her eat the cake. And she looks at me, she gives me eyes. When I lean in to get a bite of the cake, and she looks at me like, whoa, we're doing this? It was almost like you'd imagine a husband, the look he'd give his wife when she's like, it's your birthday, let's have a threesome. And he's like, all right, let's do it. But so in real life, that's it. In real life, I walked over to the cake. My wife walked in, she's like, what the fuck are you doing? And the dog blamed it on me. But like, I don't have the bit written yet. But man, when I walked in and I thought she was putting away silverware, I was like, what? And those are my favorite. When something like that happens, you go to your phone, you put it in your phone, you write it in your book, and then you're like, all right, let's take it up on stage. You don't know where it's going, and then you just start talking about it. I love that. I love that.
Is that in your special?
No, that's not. That's new. That happened last Tuesday.
Oh, that's so good. You don't really need to change any of it. It obviously
I don't know, but
works very well.
But then with the special, you write all this stuff. You have all this stuff, and then you have it all in your head. You've got some old stuff, like the interaction I have at the bar with the black guy, and so you got all this old stuff that hasn't worked in the past, but you got it there. So if you need to dip in or pull a part of that out, you can plug it in, and then you get an offer from Netflix, and they're like, "Hey, we want to do a special." Yeah. And by the way, you've been hitting your agents up. I'm ready. Let them know I'm ready.
Show up. Yeah,
because I got an hour 30.
Yeah.
Let me know you're ready. And once they tell you you're ready, you get like 3 months. And in that 3 months, I did stand up maybe 100. I did that 1 hour 150 times.
Wow. Just workshopping it.
I get up every night. I get up every single night. I get up. I go Tuesdays and Wednesdays on the road. I do 2 shows, 2 one-nighters in different clubs.
Wow.
I then do a weekend, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I bang out a Sunday in a closed city where I can probably only do 1 show. I fly home Monday. I do spots at the store Monday. But you just become obsessive, and you take that hour and you find chunks that work together. And then you're like, all right, I got these couple chunks.
It feels like a puzzle, right?
It's amazing. It's so much fun to take your one chunk and then go, and then literally at the last minute, at the very last minute, you're in the room and you're like, and one of the execs is like, that line you say comes off a little racist. And by the way, no one's ever noticed it. Yeah. No one's ever noticed it. And you're like, really? And they're like, I'm just saying, it's just in this day and age, just can you change the line? You're like, I'm about to do this right now. And they're like, I just think it would be best interest to just change the one line. And by the way, the line's innocuous. Sure. Innocuous. Trust me when I say. Yeah. It is an overthinking executive.
An exec giving a note for the sake of their job, thinking that's what they need to do.
And my buddy had gotten in a lot of trouble right then.
So they're sensitive. Yeah.
I mean, he's my best friend.
Yeah.
And then my wife just changes the line to Pikachu. And everyone laughs. And you go out and you're like, I'm getting chill bumps right now. The first time I said that line, Pikachu, the word is Pikachu.
Okay. So if people go watch the special, they're going to see this moment.
Pikachu. And my wife's an idiot. She just went, what about Pikachu? And everyone laughed in the room and I went, Pikachu. And they're like, I think it works. And then you go out in the room and I'm getting chill bumps. Not even joking. You go out in the room, you get to that part of the thing, and then you're like, we got to wait for Pikachu here. And the whole place goes nuts, and you look off, and your wife's with your agent and your best friend that you grew up with who's producing the special, Tony Hernandez, and they're dying laughing like, we did it! And in your head, you're like, oh, that's what, all this work, and then the one fucking line.
That's an incredibly sweet story.
Yeah, it was really, and so And
But I'm sure like you do a lot of stand up, but like those are the moments that make it personal for you and make it feel like a true accomplishment.
yeah, and you know, I was very cognizant of the way people take in specials these days.
Yeah, I
Like,
mean, it's the world that you guys operate in, and I learn a lot from Brooks, is like, it's nuts. I mean, the YouTube space has changed dramatically every day and every year, but the stand-up space, which has been so traditional for so long, is changing so much now that I feel like you guys are all kind of like navigating it and trying to figure it out.
It's you learn a lot the more you do it,
Mm-hmm.
and like one of the things one of the things I was very aware of is why I was turning off specials. Like I watched a special of this guy, and he was talking about the city they were in for 15 minutes. And if you know that special, you know what special I'm talking about. I'm not going to say it, but a part of me was like, man, I don't really care what city you're in. And he did a lot, and I was like, I really don't care what city you're in.
Yeah.
I was like, tell me a joke. And then I watched Jim Jeffries' special. I talked to Jim about this, and I was like, man, you killed me. Your special, you walked on stage, you didn't say a word, and you went, Bill Cosby, and the place went nuts. And I was like, I'm in. I'm dying to hear what you have to say.
Yeah.
And then I thought, then you start thinking, oh, I got to tell a joke. I got to get out there and tell a joke, and my laugh per minute better be up. And then Netflix is like, everyone turns off at 30 minutes. And you're like, all right, let me just move my closer up to 28 minutes. Let's see what happens if I move my closer to 28 minutes. You feel it in the room, and it murders, and you're like, okay, now I got to move something to the back end to carry that next 28 minutes. It's such a fun process. I'm excited for my next one because I've got 52 minutes of new material.
Really? Already after this?
Already after this.
That's nuts.
Yeah, Period Party. Did we talk about that? Period Parties. I'm telling you.
That's the name of your next special.
Period Party. And then I got this. I wish. I got this joke about Starbucks that is my best joke I've ever written in my life. Best joke I've ever written in my life.
Just tease people with it. Don't tell us the joke.
No, I'm not telling
don't
you.
waste it here.
Trust
God
me.
damn it.
Come see me live.
See him live. Okay, we're gonna take one more quick break, and then we're gonna get into the Twitter questions really quickly with Bert. And I mean, obviously, by this time you should watch this special. I feel personally invested in the whole narrative of it.
Pikachu.
If we're not sponsored by Pokemon this episode, I'm gonna be fucking pissed.
Not too deep.
Support for today's show comes from our good buddies at Casper.
We love Casper.
Casper is the sleep brand that continues to revolutionize its line of products to create an exceptionally comfortable sleep experience one night at a time.
They have 3 mattress models. They have the original Casper, the Wave, and the Essential. Casper mattresses are perfectly designed to soothe and cradle your natural geometry.
Not to mention, the breathable design helps you sleep cool and regulates your body temperature throughout the night.
And it's delivered right to your door in one of those small, how did they do that size box with free shipping and returns in the US and Canada.
But the best part is that you can be sure of your purchase with Casper's 100-night, risk-free sleep on it trial.
That's 3 months.
It's over 3 months.
Over 3 months. At least 3 months.
After all, you spend 1/3 of your life sleeping, so you should be comfortable. And let me tell you guys, these beds are comfortable. I slept on my Casper mattress last night.
Oh my God, so did I.
So comfortable. They really are. Like the one that I have is probably the most comfortable bed I've ever owned.
Yeah, no, same. As an adult, buying a mattress, I didn't realize was incredibly expensive and also very difficult to do. And so Casper, when it showed up at my door, I thought I was being punked.
Yeah, because it's a tiny little box.
It's a tiny box, and then you undo the box and you cut the plastic off, and then it just like presents itself as this beautiful mattress in front of you.
It slowly inflates on its own.
It's beautiful.
It's pretty rad. And you guys can get $50 towards select mattresses by visiting casper.com/grace and using GRACE at checkout.
That's casper.com/grace. Offer code GRACE for $50 off your mattress purchase. Terms and conditions apply.
Not too deep.
Support for today's show comes from Rothy's. Rothy's shoes are stylish, sustainable, and comfortable enough for everyday wear anywhere. And I can speak to this on a personal level. I got a pair of mustard-colored, cute, adorable flats that make me feel sleek, stylish, and like I'm just an overall capable human being. Rothy's is the everyday flat for life on the go with 3 fashionable styles: the flat, the point, and the loafer for women and girls, and an amazing color and pattern selection that's always getting updated. Not to mention, they're the softest shoe that you will put on your foot. Seriously, you won't believe that they're made from recycled plastic water bottles. You heard me. recycled plastic water bottles. And a major added bonus, they're machine washable. Because let's face it, feet are gross. They do things, they sweat, they create dirt and grossness in that area. And you know what? Now you can clean your shoes. I love Rothy's, and I know you will too. Right now, Rothy's has an amazing deal for you, my beautiful listeners. Use code GRACE, GRACE, to get free shipping, no minimum. That's free shipping and free returns and exchanges on your Rothy's shoe when you go to Rothy's, ROTHYS.com. Enter GRACE, GRACE. It's a no-brainer. Shoes that are comfortable, stylish, and sustainable, plus free shipping. Get yourself a pair today, Rothys.com, promo code GRACE. Get this deal while it lasts. We're back with Bert. This is very exciting. I'm going to ask you some Twitter questions now. But before we do, I'm going to ask you the two questions I ask every single guest that's on the podcast. Okay. And the first one is, who, alive or dead, would you most want to throw cold spaghetti at?
Throw cold spaghetti at?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty, it's, a very hard-hitting journalism type question.
Alive or dead, who would I want to throw cold spaghetti at? Mm-hmm. I would have to say Saddam Hussein.
Okay. I don't think we've ever gotten that answer.
Saddam Hussein had a lot to do with my life because...
That's a sentence. Okay. Go on.
When I was in high school, he was the first war that I got to experience. Mm-hmm. And so I remember coming in and going like, I'm not for war. I'm against war. I'm protesting the war. My dad literally said, "You're a fucking idiot. Go to your room until you realize why you're a fucking idiot." And then I sat in my room and I was like, I don't know why I'm an idiot. And then I walked downstairs and my dad explained to me who Saddam Hussein was and why we're going to war and that he was killing his own people. And he said, "You have no idea. This is the first time in life we can watch a war on TV. This is groundbreaking. You need to be for this war and for what's happening right now because what we're doing is a good thing. We are helping his people get out of his oppression and we're watching it on TV." And so me and my dad sat and watched the war. And I was like, oh. And then I remember the second war. And I was like, I'm for this war because my dad had said so. And everyone's like, you're a fucking idiot. You got to figure out why you're an idiot. And then I watched Saddam Hussein get killed. I feel like I followed that guy's career.
It's quite a fanboy almost.
Yeah.
Wow.
He went out like a gangster. You got to admit that. Walked to the gallows. Didn't say a word. Do you know if they walked me to the gallows like they did Saddam Hussein?
I can imagine that you would not be quiet.
I'd be like, I guess you'll never know where the treasure is.
That's the greatest last words. That's so perfect. Well, I would love to see the moment that you get to throw cold spaghetti at him.
Yeah,
That'd be great.
Yeah, Saddam Hussein.
I'm actually so curious to know your answer for this question. I ask every single guest to tell us their worst pants shitting story or like close call, but you can only use 3 words or 3 small phrases. So for instance, mine is college jogging front lawn.
I love that. Mm-hmm. Okay.
I feel like you might have multiple scenarios in which this applies, but I'm curious to know the worst one.
The worst one, tennis camp.
Okay.
All over the stall. Stolen men's clothes.
Oh, all right. Well, no follow-up questions. That's great. It really paints a picture. Really.
Wait, I want to see if I can do this with a bunch of them. Hold on.
Yeah, give me a couple more.
Okay.
This is a weird game of charades.
6 a.m. McDougal Street. Sister says,
Oh, so the family was involved this time.
me and my sister.
But also, I feel like New York is the appropriate place for that to happen. I feel like it happens more times than we care to admit in that city.
Best Buy, buying a refrigerator. He doesn't wear underwear. We'll be back.
You should have led with that one. That's the best one.
Those are, I mean.
Dad, Barnes & Noble, Black Friday. Or no, Dad, wait, it's not Barnes & Noble, Banana Republic. Dad, Banana Republic, Black Friday.
Oh, God, a chic Banana Republic. Don't do it there.
Oh,
those perfect button downs.
That's a fun fucking game.
It's really fun. The only times it's not fun is when you ask someone and they don't have an immediate memory that they've repressed deep down, like emotionally in their lives. Yeah, so that's like, it's kind of it's a tell for people to understand. Like, I really truly connect with you because you have multiple stories immediately come to.
So many. I had one time where we were on Travel Channel, and it was at the world's biggest. What's those crystals? You know when they cut something in half?
Geodes?
It was at the world's biggest geode, and I had walked my two travelers down the stairs to show them. Now, by the way, okay, secret time. I'm obsessed with geodes. I've been obsessed with geodes since I was a kid, and I told them I've always been obsessed with geodes. I've been obsessed with geodes. I draw a lot of energy from geodes. I love geodes. I love geodes. And I walked downstairs, down this steps. It's out on the world's biggest geode is on an island off of Ohio in the middle of one of the Great Lakes.
Okay, I was gonna say Ohio's landlocked. I don't understand how that works.
It's just off Cedar Point.
Okay.
And we get down to the bottom, and the cameras are rolling, and I see the geode, and I go, "Oh my god!" And I shit my pants. But we're in a very small area, and everyone starts gagging, and it's all in my pants, and I don't have another pair of pants. Oh no! And they're like. And my camera crew, and I had already told them, I was like, I get really excited for geodes. And they're like, you weren't kidding. You shit your pants. Like, that really does draw energy out of you.
Oh my God. Wait, does this episode exist that people can go like pop up video and retroactively watch it and know this moment?
Every story I tell is 100% true. And that one is 200% true.
Crystal Cave?
Is it Crystal Cave?
That's what I'm looking up now. It's the world's largest geode. It's on in Ohio.
Yep, it's got to be it.
Wait, where is this?
It's a small island that we took a boat to.
Yeah, no, this looks nuts.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, off of Lake Erie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whoa, cool. I mean, I get shitting your pants for this geode. It's pretty impressive. I shit my pants
so bad, and everyone's like, "Oh my God."
Oh, that's incredible. And they're like, not on Travel Channel. Wow. Well, thank you for the whirlwind of stories surrounded by that. I feel like this is your new podcast.
That's a genius bit. That's a genius bit.
Well, it's just, I think, the great equalizer for all of us is
I think so.
As adults, we still can't control every aspect of our bodies, which I think brings us together. Okay, let's get into these Twitter questions. I'm really interested in what people want to know about you. Someone, and this was curious to me, everyone's asking, is he still the machine? And your Twitter bio is very funny. It's, I am a party animal, comedian, actor, author, host, hesitant passenger, fast eater, glutton, husband, dad. Dad is last on that list. So curious order of all of that. But then I am the machine.
Yep.
So people still want to know, are you still the machine?
Yeah, I'm definitely still the machine.
I mean, your body has been put through the test.
Oh, I am definitely still the machine.
What do you do to relax? We can answer this later. We can take it offline.
I don't know. I honestly, I think to relax, I do like to work out. I know that sounds crazy. People don't think I work out, but I like to work out. I like to hike, and then I like to get in my pool. And there's no better feeling than getting in my pool, having a double Tito's and soda and a cigar, and then the girls coming out and then like, Dad, what are we grilling tonight? Oh, that I get so fucking excited for that.
So you're just like Al Bundy with a little bit more money that you have a pool.
I am so what they think the American male is in that intelligence zone.
Yeah.
We were like, bro, I'm just smart enough for Hollywood where I'm like, wait, Bruce Willis is dead? I don't get it. When did he die? Oh, Donnie Wahlberg shot him? Oh my God, he's been a ghost the whole time. Like, I'm that smart.
Okay.
Throw on the TV. I got an outdoor TV. Throw on like
What's
PGA.
You watch golf?
I love watching. I'm obsessed with Tiger Woods.
As a person that exists in pop culture, as a golfer?
As a golfer. I believe in him. I believe in him.
I mean, he is. I don't find golf interesting. No offense.
Yeah.
I think because I just don't see. I see skill on some level, but I don't see athleticism, which is.
You could argue that you're right about that.
I don't think anyone that wears belts is an athlete.
That's interesting.
That's why I don't like baseball.
Oh my God, I was about to say they wear belts in baseball.
I know, and it's the dumbest thing I've ever seen. I don't think they know. Like, I don't think they're cognizant that they're wearing belts that whole goddamn game.
Dude, you're cognizant when you slide in head first.
Fair. But if that happened every 5 minutes in baseball, I would love it.
You don't like going to a baseball game?
I'm impatient as fuck. I want to see immediate results. I want to see immediate athleticism.
What's your sport then? What's
WWE. I want theater
By
and
the way,
athleticism.
she just named the sport that is based on belts.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
got the belt.
But those belts, if you're going to wear a belt, I want it aggressive, oversized.
Okay.
I want to see my reflection in it.
WWE, that is so fucking funny.
It's great. That's literally like going to medieval times in my mind. Like it's
Oh, by the way, I
soap
love
opera.
medieval times.
Oh my God.
I love medieval times.
How many have you been to?
5.
Well, wait.
Yeah, they've got one in Orlando. We've gone.
I've gone to Jersey and out here. I haven't gone to Toronto. I haven't gone to Orlando.
I've gone 5 times. I went for my birthday. We went for my daughter's birthday. We went for my wife's birthday. Like, it is the best. And by the way, I don't like when you go and it's packed. I've been when it's not packed on like a weekday.
When it's sad.
Oh.
But they still got to do it. I've gone when the hawk that's supposed to.
Dude!
I've gone when the hawk stays in the rafters and decides it doesn't want to come down. And the guy that wrangles the hawk has to sit there and go, oh no. And then he just waves his rope at it for like 10 minutes. That's sad times.
This last time we went, the hawk goes through the thing and I'm wasted, right? It is early on a Sunday or early on a Saturday. It's my daughter Isla's birthday.
That's as an appropriate dad.
I've got an entire bus. I rented a tour bus to take all her friends down. It's me and my wife. That's it. No one. But Isla says, I want to sit by you, Dad. And I'm like, okay. So all her friends are there. It's a blast. I'm buzzed. And the hawk comes out, and Isla is just like me, and she goes, oh, we need a bird of prey. And all I can think is, can you imagine how cool it would be to take it out to a park and be like, go! And then it just does a loop, and it comes back, and you're
Just skims everyone's heads and lets them know, like, it could really hurt you.
God, I would love an owl. Big Boy from Outkast, all he has is like 9 owls. I don't know how he got owls. He's just got owls all in his place, and I'm obsessed with them. And I met him, and he follows me on Instagram, and I want to be like, man, how do I get an owl? It's illegal. I don't know how he's doing it.
I feel like it's a quick Google.
It's not. I googled it. You're not allowed to have owls. You got to have a license to rescue owls in order to have owls.
Oh, wow.
So I think he's rescuing owls,
Which is ultimately very noble and nice.
and so not hip hop. Like I've been rescuing owls.
I respect it, though.
What a trump card.
I'm so glad you love medieval times.
I love medieval times.
I lost my passport at medieval times the most recent time I went. That's how much fun I had. But then Brooks lost a bet, and my win was to take him to medieval times for the first time as an adult. And he had no idea what he had signed up for, but then lost his mind in the arena. Because it's like walking into a casino. There's no windows. You're just there. It's daylight outside still, but you lose your minds in the safe, comfortable zone.
I want to say let's say 36th birthday, 35th birthday. I had a daughter. I had 2 daughters at the time. Georgia was maybe like 3 or 4, right?
Okay.
They do the whole thing, and the prince who wins gets to determine the queen, princess of love and beauty.
Yep.
And he's making a big thing about it, and it's a dead night. It's like a Tuesday night, so it's slow, right? And he looks at me, and he takes his little lance, and he takes a rose, and he puts it to me, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm the princess of love and beauty. And I take the rose, and my wife goes, hey, dickhead, that's meant for your daughter. And Georgia had been reaching out with me, and he was like, the prince is like, no, to the right, to the right. And I'm like, oh yeah, why would I be princess of love and beauty? I go, Georgia, and then Georgia's like, for me? And I was like, that's what I said.
But I love that was your like bachelorette moment of like, I will accept this
I
rose.
will accept this rose. I caught this garter belt square and fair.
I've never gotten a rose, and I enjoy screaming at the children that oftentimes get the roses. That's partially probably why I don't get the rose. I've also been with friends where they've heckled the other knights so hard that the knights literally have screamed from their horses, it's make-believe, bro. Where they've been like, fuck you, Green Knight, you suck a dick. And then the guy has to be like, it's make-believe.
Your ponytail's fake.
Yeah, really got into his psyche and just fully scrambled it.
I love when they get a horse that's a little out of control and you can see their horsemanship.
I like that because I'm like, I get where this horse is. This horse is having a bad day and it still has to work.
Yeah, and he's like just foaming at the mouth. Oh my God.
It's the best time. It's a little too expensive. I wish it was a little bit more cost effective.
Take 15 kids.
Also, I went once for a friend's 30th birthday, and it was like 10 of us, and then we're like drunk by the end of it, being like, let's get, tequila shots for everyone, like as the end of the night thing. And they started pouring shots, and then we were like, wait a minute, how much is it? They were like, it's $15 a shot. We were like, put it back in the bottle. Put it back. We can't. We very much appreciate Rusty, but like we can't I'm not gonna pay for that.
This is, by the way, as you said that, I went, oh my God. My daughter's 12th birthday, we all go, this past one. We get done, and my daughter has the same impulse brain I have, okay? Everyone's going to the bathroom. The lines for the bathroom's long, and Ida looks at me and goes, oh, we could buy a sword? And I'm like, and then in your head, you're like, yeah, I got money. I'll buy whatever the fuck I want. And I go, how much are the swords? And he's like, oh, I got $100. And I go, which one do you want?
It's a steal.
She's like, it's for me? And I go, it's your birthday. Which one? She goes, I want that dagger.
Oh,
and I was like, done. We bought a dagger. She takes it on the boat. And she's like, Mom, look what Dad got me. And we're on the bus, right? We're on the bus. And everyone's like, she's like, put it away. Stop driving. Oh, my God. Yeah,
but now she has it now.
And she goes, where do I keep it? And I said, by your bed. I go, just in case someone breaks in. Now you have a dagger. You stab them.
That's the coolest daughter of all time. I have a baseball bat next to my bed, so I have room to improve.
I have a wife.
Fair.
And a 140-pound bull mastiff.
That you eat cake with.
Yeah.
Bert, we're at the end of the podcast. Thank you so much for making time. This was super fun.
This was a blast.
Where can people find everything that you're doing online, on Netflix, etc.?
You can if you go to bertbertbert.com, that's BERT, you can go to, I know I should have picked 4, right? You can find everything. You can find my Twitter, my Instagram. You can probably find my tour dates, and you can probably find a link. Just go to Netflix. The special is called Secret Time. It starts streaming August 24th. This is way past that.
So it'll be fully available, and hopefully you guys have watched it already by this point.
Yeah, and hopefully you're like, as soon as I said Pikachu, you're like, I know that joke.
Oh my God. Yeah. If you guys honestly want to leave a review in the iTunes store for this episode, if you guys have seen the Pikachu moment, please let us know. That would be very well appreciated. Bert, thank you so much for making time.
I got to have you on my podcast next.
Yeah, I would love that.
And
I was just on your show on All Things Comedy.
My cooking show.
And speaking of food, this is every guest of the podcast gets a personalized fortune cookie for being here.
Personalized?
You'll find out.
Oh, if it says quit drinking.
Oh, I would never do that to someone.
Oh, this is a soft one too.
Yeah, we got to steam it open to put the fortunes in, so they get a little soft.
Oh my God, that's brilliant. Oh my God, you can steam a fortune cookie in. I'm doing that to my daughters tonight. This is legit personalized.
Yeah, it might be like a diary entry.
Okay.
Go ahead.
This podcast is also formally challenging you to participate in another triathlon. Next to Mo. Just kidding. Next Mo. Just kidding. That'd be crazy. But also, if you do, we'll do nothing either way. So,
yeah.
Okay.
Just we subscribe to very uninspiring fortunes.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So you're welcome for that.
Oh, and thanks. I'll do another triathlon and you guys don't have to do anything.
We'll track the body progress and see how it goes. Guys, if you haven't checked out Bert on everything, please do. He's absolutely fantastic. And we'll see you guys next time on another episode of Not Too Deep. Goodbye.
Too deep, too deep, too deep. Not too deep with Grace Helbig.
Third Love is passionate about the perfect fit, and they believe it's time for your bra to fit you and not the other way around. Their collections are designed by women for women, so you will love the way you feel under each and every look. And now they offer over 70 sizes and more than a dozen styles, so you'll find the perfect bra for every moment and every outfit. Get 15% off your first purchase by going to thirdlove.com/grace today. Not Too Deep is a production of Grace Helbig Incorporated, producer and directed by Jack Ferry.
Producer and editor, Melissa D. Montz.
Writing by Diane Kang.
Production assistance by Adriana Montiagudo.
Post-production sound by Chris Henry.
And an extra special thanks to Flula for the theme music.